Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy. And for today's card, I'm going to show you how I made my June team swap. So I'm sure if you watch my videos, you know that every month my team and I swap. And this is my swap for this month. And hopefully all of my team got their swaps in case they want it to be a surprise. I believe they have. I sent them out really early. Well, at least early for me this month. And it looks like this. And now, to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure if you'd say that this swap features the Cheerful Basket bundle, or if it really features the Beauty of Friendship bundle or stamp set. Beauty of Friendship is just a stamp set. All of these products are in the annual catalog, or you can find them on my online store. Of course, if you buy the dies and the stamp set together as a bundle, you save 10%. But let me show you real quick this die set. I think it's really cute because these dies here, right, cut out every image, I guess, so the hearts, the apples, and the craft supplies are all dies in here. But what this die set has is a bunch of what you'd call independent dies. So it has like the little basket, it has the leaves, it has the cute little apples and the leaves that match those apples, it has the little hearts, some more leaves here, and just some sprigs. And then it has, I'm going to call this like a picnic basket, or a blanket, but really this could hang out the basket to look like there's a blanket inside the basket to hold, well, you know what I mean. And there's tons that you could do with these dies. Now for my swap, first of all, I'm going to take these two out because these are the two that I'm going to use on my swap. I really wanted to focus on the Q-tip technique that I saw Fran Martin do. And I think it's Fran Martin. I apologize if I messed up her name. But where'd my card go? That's the technique I used on the trees up here. So I just wanted a little bit of characters or something to put down here under the trees. And that's why I picked the kitty and the butterfly from this stamp set. That's the only thing we're going to use. Like I said, it's really what I want to show you is this Q-tip technique. So the measurements for my cardstock, I can't remember. I cut them out a while ago because, like I said, I was doing all my swaps. So to find the measurements for the pieces of cardstock, I would go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com. And of course, the link will be in the description, either below or above, depending what you're watching here. We're going to start with stamping. So I'm going to first stamp my little kitty and my butterfly just on a scrap real quick here. And I'm going to bring in my foam mat from my Stamparatus, just because we're using photopolymer stamps, and you get a better image if you have a foam under there. Just a scrap of basic white, and I have my little kitty here and my butterfly, and I'm going to stamp them in some Memento because then we're going to color them really quick, hopefully really quick, with the blends. Now, one thing I've noticed, that the butterfly, don't press too hard, because watch, if you press really hard, you get that thick line, and really this one's almost too hard. Make sure your ink pad is really happy and inked up so you can just touch and you don't push too hard to make your thin lines really thick. But that's just, and really if they're really thick you colored, it's probably still look good anyway. But I'm going to ink up my little kitty here, and we're going to stamp him down. There we go. Now I'm going to color him with the gray granite markers. Now to me this gray has just a little bit more brown in it, and that's why I like this color for my kitty. And I'm going to take the light with the bullet tip. I like to color with the bullet tip better than the paintbrush tip. I just think I have better control. And you can push hard and it doesn't ruin the tip like the paintbrush tip. I kind of like that paintbrush tip for the smaller areas, but I'm going to just quickly, with the lighter color of gray granite, color my whole kitty. Now, so you know, Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers, and I've colored, I think this is my 10th kitty, and my marker's still going strong. So if you're wondering how long Stampin' Blends last, although I'm sure every marker is probably different, you can get a lot of kitties out of one set of markers. So once I have him colored, and he's not perfect, I'm not going to worry about that. I'm going to come back in now with that brush tip, because I want to do just where Stampin' Up! Has already have the like shadowing on the stamp, I'm going to just go over with a little bit of that dark gray granite and just give him some highlights and some shading and let the magic happen here with the blends. I am not artsy at all, so I try to let the stamp set do the work for me. Then I'm going to come in here and blend. And you notice I made the little white spots on his ears there and on his eyeballs. I went around those spots because I'm going to color those with a little bit of pink and yellow. But then just kind of blend those dark spots back in. Now I'm going to make sure I do a better job getting him completely covered so he doesn't have streaks. But once it dries, the blends are really user-friendly and you won't have those streaks in there with like you do with some other markers. But there we go. So my kitty looks like that. And then with just a little bit of dark daffodil, I'm going to just put a little bit of color in his eyes. And then with some light Flirty Flamingo, again with that brush tip, I'm going to just color. Oh, this must be the dark. Nope, it says light, but looks pretty dark. Still looks really cute. Look how cute my little kitten is now. And then with the butterfly, I'm going to bring in that dark daffodil again, but I think I like this one the best. And I'm going to just color in around. And then with a little bit of dark pumpkin pie, I'm going to just get in right there. And I'll be honest with you, my dark pumpkin pie, my paintbrush tip is so bad I can't use that tip anymore. I need to replace my marker there. But okay, so now we have those little pieces. Let's go ahead and die cut them out. So I got some washi tape here and my little dies. I'm going to just lay them on top and hold them down. Maybe that's the wrong, that washi tape is terrible. But you know, instead of washi tape, let's use the Post-it tape. I think I can get both of them on there with just one piece of tape. Now, I know that I've mentioned that Stampin' Up! Now has masking paper. I tried to do this with Stampin' Up's masking paper to hold my dies in place, thinking I could, you know, just use that. But it's too strong. When I went to take it off, it tore my paper. So just, you know, Stampin' Up's masking paper isn't good to hold your dies down. Maybe I can't do it with one piece of tape because, like I said, it's too strong and it'll tear your paper. Let me bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. I'm going to use, of course, plate number 1, cutting plate number 2. I hope my little butterfly's okay because I can't see him because of the, look, and that moved because the tape is in the way. I don't know, we'll just see what happens. I have extra ones cut here for my swaps anyway. And we'll cut that out. Take that, see if that Post-it tape worked okay. Well, I'm going to go slow. Okay, so there's my little kitty. And there's my butterfly. Look how nice they turned out. I did really good. I'm going to just set that out of the way. I'll put that away later. And now let's do some blending with our blending brushes. So again on my scrap here, and I don't need the pad right now, and on my little basic white. Now this is the front panel of my card here. Like I said, if you need the measurements, you have to go to my blog because I cut my paper a long time ago when I was making my swaps or cutting for my swaps. I have a little bit of balmy blue here, and I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm going to just pick up some ink. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to go really fast. I tap here, so see how it has that dark spot there? And then I'm going to start off the paper, and I'm just going to go down, and I'm not even going to measure. I'm going to say about to there. And I just want to turn that white paper blue for the sky. And did I mention that this is balmy blue ink? Get a little bit in the center, but there we go. So now I have a blue sky there, and then I'm going to do the same thing with some Pear Pizzazz ink and the blending brush. I'm turning my paper over, pick up some ink here, tap a little bit, and then off the paper, and then go up like that. And now I probably did a little bit more than I wanted to, but it still looks okay. Wait, except right here in the center, it's kind of light. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't really matter. We just need some sky and some grass or ground, I guess we're going to call it. Now I am going to bring in my Stamparatus pad because we're going to use photopolymer stamps. And I'm going to cover it up with my Stamparatus grid paper. And then with some soft suede ink. And I'm going to call it a bulb tree. It looks like this. From the Beauty of Friendship stamp set, I'm going to just stamp 3 of those with that soft suede ink. And like I said, they don't have to be, I mean, we're just going to slap them on there. I'm going to kind of look at this top corner because I want to kind of fill the hole. It doesn't look like, wait, let me practice once because it doesn't look, oh yes, it's very inked. For some reason it didn't look like it had a good coverage on my stamp, but it does. Like I said, I'm going to kind of focus on this corner up here so I'm going to say no bald spots on my paper. And then the next tree, I just want to kind of bring it over and down a little bit because I don't want my trees, I'm picturing him like in a park or something like that, and I don't want my trees in a row. I just kind of want them random. And then on the other side, I'm going to just stamp him, I don't know, maybe there. There we go. So now we have our trees. And now is when the fun begins. Because for the Q-tip technique, I'm going to take 5. And like I said, Fran Martin showed this. I watched her video. And when she did it, she used nice fall colors. And I thought, ooh, that would be, you could do some like cherry blossoms with some pink and white. I think that would look really, really cute too. But I looked out the window, and now that it's nice in summer, all the trees are bright green, so I'm going to just do greens, and I'm going to take my rubber band like this. Sorry, I talk a lot. I guess I need to talk, huh? Otherwise you'd sit here and watch me. But so I have my Q-tips just held together with a rubber band. Let's see if they're going to stay. I don't want them too tight, but then I'm going to kind of just make them so they're all the same level here. And I did do the same Q-tips. I made all of my swaps. I think I made about 12 cards, and I was able to use all of the same bundle, I guess you'd call it, of Q-tips for the cards. Then on just a blank block here, or an empty block or a plain block, I'm going to start with Pear Pizzazz ink. And I'm going to just put a few dots on there. And then I'm going to pick up that ink. Let's see if I have them all. You know, I got to go one more time. It has to be one more time, I think, tighter. There we go. Because now it's going to hold it and make sure it's flat. Okay, then I'm going to just pick up some of that ink like this. And I'm going to kind of go around my trees. And boy, I need more ink on there. There we go. And then go over here. And I do need more ink. Hang on. After the second or third time you ink up your Q-tips, they kind of hold that ink better and you don't need quite so much. But the first time with fresh Q-tips, you might have to ink it up pretty good. There we go. And then my next color, and I'm going to just put it right there, like in the same spots. I'm going to use a little bit of Granny Apple Green. Same thing. And just add those different colors and kind of follow the I guess the shape of the tree. There we go. And then last and not least, and I'm going to do just a little bit of this color, so I'm going to kind of put it on the edge so I know where to pick up that color. I'm going to do, this is Garden Green, so this is the darkest of the green, and this is just for shading, so I just want a few of those on each tree. Like that, and they look really dark at first, but when that ink dries, they kind of just shade in really nice like. So there you go, that's what my trees. And I don't know why, but I love that idea of, so I would go and take my block now, and I could either wipe it off with a baby wipe, or I just go run it under some clear water in the sink. Now, if you're not into the baby wipe, you can also just use these 2 stamps here in the stamp set and stamp it like that. Now this, again, I use the on the more solid, I guess you'd call it, stamp, I use the Pear Pizzazz, and then I use the Garden Green on that one to make it look like this. Alrighty, now we need a greeting down here at the bottom, so I'm going to just use some black memento, and that thinking of you from the, what's this stamp set called? Beauty of Friendship. Hopefully we can get it good now that we've already inked and stamped it. I'm going to practice one time right here. Now let me tell you too, with this, I would call this somewhat of a fine line stamp. So I'm going to make sure that I ink it up good here, and then when I put it down here, I'm going to just barely set it down and just hold it in place and let that ink sink in. And I'm not going to use a lot of pressure, and you get a good image like that. Now, when you apply way too much pressure, you get it kind of blotchy, so it looks like that. And so don't press too hard. I suggest you let the ink do the job for you. So that's just a little tip there to help you when you're stamping with those fine line images like that. Okay, I think we're almost done. Well, we are really close. So I'm going to layer this onto my other pieces if I can find them now. What did I do with them? So on this, I'm going to just take some Stampin' Seal and layer this onto a piece of, oh, you know, I forgot to stamp the inside. Anyway, sorry, squirrel. I'm going to lay this onto a piece of soft suede, just 1/4 of an inch bigger. And then I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And I have a balmy blue card base, which is 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4, and it's all ready to go here. Let me get the backs of these off. Lay this there. And then on the back of my kitty and the back of my little butterfly, I'm going to put a couple dimensionals on him, and then with the mini dimensionals here, I'm going to put one in the middle of my butterfly. Set him like he's just on the, kind of like on those words. And then here,
from House Series 2,
I'm going to put my little ladybug there. And then with some Wink of Stella, just to give my card a little bit of wow, I'm going to just color that butterfly. And I think I called him a ladybug, but he's really a butterfly. And sorry about the phone call. I think my granddaughter's trying to call me. I thought I had everything on silence. I guess I missed it. So then on the inside of my card, I am going to go ahead and bring back in that soft suede and the words that say friendship refreshes the soul, because in that way you say we're thinking of you and how thinking of you makes me feel better. I think that's a really nice thing to tell a friend. So I'm going to take that and try to stamp it straight. Now when I say stamp it straight, I'm going to look at the refresh the soul, because the refresh is like a typed kind of thing, and I think it'd be easier to see if that's straight. So that's what I'm going to look at when I say I'm going to try to stamp my word straight. I'm going to look at that refresh. Try not to get my head in the camera here, but see if I got it straight. Pretty good, huh? And like I said, if you look at that stamped word rather than these cursive ones, it's a little bit easier to see that it's straight or not. And then a little bit with that garden green. And I don't know what you would call these, splatters or whatever, just to give it some color on the inside of my card. I'm just going to splatter my card right here with that garden green. And there you go. So there's my card. One more thing I need to do before I put everything away or call it a day is on the back of my card, and I need to get in the habit of this. So with this limited stamp edition or limited edition stamp set, they have these ones that have the copyright Stampin' Up! On there. And now when you sell your cards, Stampin' Up! Has a policy and asks that you use the copyright Stampin' Up! On all the cards that you sell, so nobody can steal their images, I think is what the reason is. It's the angel policy. But I'm going to take this and I'm going to practice one more time right here. Just especially since my card's all done. But I'm going to do this hand stamped by right here on the back of my card. Now everybody knows when I mail it out that I'm the one that mailed it. And if I sell it, it meets Stampin' Up's policies. We're going to take this and put this on the inside. So it looks like that. Now every one of my cards when I did my swaps looked different, but all of them turned out really nice using that Q-tip technique. So there you go. That's my card for today. I know it's kind of plain, but I am a plain Jane kind of stamper, but I do love using the Q-tips to put the leaves on the trees. So thanks for watching. I'll see you back here Monday about 1:30. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Bye-bye.